Tonight, fired LMPD detective Joshua Jaynes will not be returning to the force. The department's Merit Board unanimously voted to uphold the termination after testimony from former police leaders saying Jaynes cheated when he wrote the search warrant for access to Breonna Taylor's apartment. Tyler Emery has more on that decision tonight.
Well, the board deliberated for more than 3 hours privately behind closed doors here before coming out and giving no real explanation for their decision. And it comes after days of testimony, including by the mayor and former detective Joshua Jaynes himself. Over several days, former detective Joshua Jaynes and his attorney Thomas Clay fought for Jaynes to be reinstated as an LMPD officer.
Certainly not going to criticize the board, but I have a difference of opinion as to the result the board reached.
Former LMPD interim chief Yvette Gentry fired Jaynes in January for being untruthful in a search warrant obtained for officers to raid Breonna Taylor's home.
You can't cheat. You can't go apply for a no-knock warrant for a girl you say is not a suspect based on information that is untrue.
In the search warrant affidavit, Jaynes wrote, under oath, Taylor's ex-boyfriend was receiving packages at her apartment. In writing, he confirmed the information through the U.S. Postal Inspector. Jaynes later admitted he never spoke to the Postal Inspector.
It took all the courage in the world just to be fired and be done with it. Just move on, just do my life. But I'm here because I really believe in my heart, my soul, my mind. I did my job.
Jaynes' attorney, Clay, argued throughout the hearing Jaynes had relied on the information from another officer, Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly, and didn't lie on the affidavit.
As a matter of law, I think Detective Jaynes told the truth in that search warrant affidavit.
The FOP also disagrees with the board's decision, calling it a Merit Board hearing unlike any it's ever seen.
But what we heard and what we saw, we don't believe that there was any intentional act of omission or any intentional deceit on the part of the detective.
The mayor Wednesday night says he appreciates the board upholding Jaynes' resignation, writing, former chief Yvette Gentry stepped into service at a very difficult time for our city and then undertook a thorough and thoughtful review of the case. I supported her decision then, and I support it now. The board will be writing up an official order for the decision, which will have more of their reasonings and findings behind the way that they voted. And Jaynes' attorney tells me once they receive that order, they will be filing an appeal with the Jefferson County Circuit Court. And that's a process that could take years. I'm live for the night team. Tyler Emery.